group historically fed the food chain. These were the folks that had good jobs, are out of school, and they bought their first home so you could buy your second home, so the second home could buy the third home could downsize. They were the beginning of the food chain. The Echo Boomers, 80 to 95, and think about them in your life, they're taking a lot longer to settle down. No matter what the economics, they're taking a lot longer to settle down. They're taking a lot longer to find their soulmate. They have the largest college debt of any generation before them. They're hitting the worst job market in history. And here's an overlying umbrella. They are selecting where they want to live because their education and their lifestyle and their friends are more important than finding a job first. So I do not want to live in Cleveland, even though there's a job opportunity in Cleveland, so I'm not going to Cleveland. I will go in America and I'll live with my parents until I will find where I want to live and a job presents itself. That's a whole different way of looking at things that we have afforded them, but it is also gumming up the system as we know it as far as the food chain. So the spiral must be stopped, and I'm here to tell you, and I'm going to show you graphically, the spiral of buyer confidence all rotates around what? One thing. When will our confidence as it relates to housing come back? When what happens? When homes stop depreciating. When our homes stop depreciating, we will have confidence come back. So how do we stop this spiral? It will stop when we can say that our homes and our neighbors' homes are appreciating again. Even if it's a little bit, that we're appreciating rather than depreciating. So, that's where we are. That's where we are as it relates to housing for the reasons I just outlined. But let me pull the head out of the sand and show you exactly where we are as it relates to 2011 sales units versus 2010. I put out publicly that October 2010 was the bottom. So any of you that are waiting to hit the bottom and to strike, you've already missed that. And I'm going to substantiate that because 28% in America now of all home sales are cash. For the Tate Company, from Raleigh to Greenville, South Carolina, 22% of our sales are cash. 18% are investors and 34% are first home buyers. Mortgage paper, Fannie Freddie, mortgage paper was not being bought for quite a few years now because why? Nobody wanted our paper anymore. Americans didn't want their own mortgage paper, which is the countrywide situation, because it was contaminated. How much of it was good and how much of it was toxic, because the lenders couldn't fulfill their commitment on their notes. Well, guess what? Anybody who's borrowed money for anything in the last 2 years, you have been through auto bail 16 times. You have been detailed and scrubbed. I don't care if you're a millionaire or not. 3 years tax returns. So the paper now is meticulous. Overkill, overkill, overkill. And they're still not buying our paper. Why aren't they buying our paper now? Why aren't Americans buying our paper now? Now they're lined up. There's investment pools lining up to buy it. Why are they still not buying it?
Going down.
Now they're not worried about the credit worthiness of the person. What they're worried now is it's toxic because if I buy it, it's going to depreciate another 2, 3, 4, 5, 6%. So everything comes down to one supply. Guess what's happening? Our lowest supply now in 3 years. Why? Because Joe and Harry homeowner, who don't want to play in the current market, have finally give it up. Any price range home will sell today. Any price range home. But our market was clogged up for the last couple of years with people saying, wishing and hoping and dreaming. Homes will sell before they hit the market. You and I are buying those. That 28% cash, that 18% investors, that 34% home buyers, what are they buying? They are buying opportunities. Those 17,000 have no emotion to it. We didn't have our first communion here. We didn't get married in this house. We didn't pick all the wallpaper. They have no emotion. Those homes are going to be absorbed instantly and are being absorbed. That's an opportunity for somebody. 17,000 people are going to have the opportunity of their lifetime with 3% interest rates to buy a home at a phenomenal value. We're going to sell more units, but we're going to have a little more depreciation because of those 17,000 homes. That's going to cause a little bit more pain, coupled with the builders. And I see some more good builder friends in the audience. The builders who survived and have cash, it's going to be it is a beautiful run for them, because guess what? They can buy shovel-ready land at a percentage of what the land was originally developed and bought for, and they can build the product and build in the amenities that the buyers want now like never before. So another retardation of pricing is that builders can build at a much better price now than they could before, because they're getting the land and they're getting the labor. And they can get away for the first time in history of you and I in a $450,000 neighborhood. They can come in now and build $300,000 houses. We don't like that, but they can do it, because at least the neighborhood is moving in the right direction rather than sitting there with vacant lots. Appreciate it. So everybody understand what's going to happen? Lower values one more year, maybe 1 or 2 more percent, from 217 maybe to 215, 214, but we're going to sell many more units. Questions on that? $10, 20 years from now, we'll look back and say, oh my gosh, I had equity in my home, I had equity in the bank, and I did not upgrade, downsize, buy the lot in the mountains, buy the lot or house at the beach. We will look back on history and say, why was I paralyzed? Because there will never be a time in history, and I'm going to prove that to you. That's the time we're in right now.